Hello, possums. Lena here, coming to you from winter in Australia. So let's start with the good news. Alina Habba is gone from the acting Attorney General role next week. Oh, a little bit of good news. Lap it up, lap it up. But that means we have to ask the question, will the Yeti give her another job? I mean, maybe he'll replace Pam Bondi with the dreaded Alina Harbour. Oh, you can't relax for a minute, can you? But look, we've got lots to cover today, including the suing of Murdoch by the Yeti. Murdoch would not be pleased. And will this make a difference to the lay of the land? We will see. All right, but let's dive in. Alina Harbour, will she get another job or has the Yeti forgotten her name? You know how it goes. Will Alina Harbour get any extra legal work? Oh, I did have a chuckle during the week. One commentator said, Trump sees more of Netanyahu than he does of Melania. It's probably true. Okay, Alina Harbour, let's have a look. Oh, yes. Yes, I'm afraid so. She will get another job. So there seems to be no shortage of men's attorneys. Until they start losing their licenses, they're just going to queue up. So the Three of Pentacles, now in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, this is the only card with dark pentacles. And this can be people working together. But in this case, you'd have to think for nefarious reasons. Here's the legal card. Here's the which way will I go? Because he does like to surround himself with women in a certain context. Not altogether good, but yeah, they're weighing it up. And here's the Knight of Pentacles. Something to do with money, in the sense it could be chasing money at a high flying level or something like that. But unfortunately, malheureusement, I think she'll get another gig. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now, um, MAGA seem to be still torn. They haven't left en masse. So the letter that was published in the Wall Street Journal. Now, I'm sorry, call me a cynical old bag, but I actually don't give a flying toss about a 30-year-old sleazy letter between two sleazy men. I don't think it's that big a deal. And the unfortunate repercussion is it's thrown some MAGA at least back into the fold because they hate being told how to think about things from the elites, only the one elite, the Trump family. So I'm not happy with the way this is going. I have to say, just not happy. But let's have a look here before we get into the Murdoch stuff. It has been enough to push a lot of the right-wing shock jocks out of the sports car, right? And they're now jockeying for position. They can see the writing on the wall in their own way, you know. So let's have a look at the manosphere. You know, the Nick Fuentes, the Charlie Kirks. Joe Rogan's coming back towards the centre. Interesting in itself. But Shapiro, what fell out? They are moving away from him, and I don't think they are coming back. They might split their own audiences here somehow because the devotees, I'm sorry, let me digress before I pull these cards. What is it that MAGA get out of this man? Look, he wasn't shot. Apart from keeping a sanitary pad on his earlobe for 2 days, there was no indication a bullet even whistled past. He wasn't shot. He didn't win the election, and we know that because Elon keeps telling us every night at 2 in the morning how he helped. And he's definitely in the Epstein files because he knew the guy for 30 years. Like none of that matters to them. It's like, please, Mr. President, come and screw me over, kick me in the head, roll me in the gutter, but I'll still vote for you. Yeah. Manosphere, focus swing. I'll draw a couple of extra cards from film. Oh, sorry, my big paw is in the way. The film now. Oh, tarot. Manosphere. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Now, everything they do is for power. The King of Wands is more about power than money. Of course, they love money. However, this is about the power they have, and they have audiences of millions. Between them, absolute millions. I think they're celebrating their release because look at this. They've been hostage to him for a very long time, a hostage of their own making. They chose to back this horse, and they're celebrating being free of him. Oh, that's interesting. Right. So what do the film noirs say about the manosphere? Maybe I'll just pull one card here. So they're doing a reshuffle. What did we get? Naked alibi. Don't you love it? Yeah, his bad behavior has given them an alibi for getting out, the Epstein crisis, because I don't think they were as invested as the following was invested. Do you know what I mean? Like they ran with it because it made them, the clickbait. But this has given them an alibi. Oh, so they will be jockeying for position going forward. So let's have a look here. Um, let's go to the big one. Now, Wall Street Journal, Murdoch publication. Fox, Murdoch. So he's covering both sides, right? The big boys and money in the Wall Street Journal and your mug punters with Fox. Now, I hate to admit it, hate to admit it. The problem is Murdoch is a kingmaker, whether we like it or not. And I'm old enough to remember him destroying the UK Labour movement, the miners' strike, which was truly terrible and went for a year, and miners freezing because they couldn't get coal, even though they were coal miners, because it was the Thatcher Reagan thing of destroying the working class, defanging unions, etc. But Murdoch will have a big say, if not the deciding say, in who is the next president. Shouldn't be the case. It's outrageous that it's the case. How dare I suggest that? But it's absolutely the case. Right. So the question now is, will he support Vance or has he got someone else in mind? Because I don't see him going on supporting the Yeti because of the financial crisis that he's causing in every corner of the world. So let's have a look. Will Murdoch support Vance? Ooh. Will Murdoch support Vance? Will Murdoch support Vance? Yes or no? Let's have a look, see. Why is that reversed? Hmm. Well, interesting in itself. The wedding card upside down. Murdoch is moving on as we speak from the Yeti. So we've got the wonderful Jessica Tarlov, who's hung in at Fox being the voice of reason and sanity, and she's a very smart cookie, but Fox itself is still, gabbling on. Over, over. Now, will he support Vance? This is him with his power. He will decide. Eight of Wands, expect it quite quickly. I think from this point on, he's working on it. He's working on the replacement. I don't know if it'll be Vance or not. I'll have to look at this again in the next video, but this is the taster. He's working on it. I don't think he's decided, right? He might go with Vance, but he might not. But we will see a quick decision, but he's working on it. The thing is, it's all right to say, well, everyone hates Vance. Let's hope it's Vance. The problem is, well, there's many problems with all of this stuff, is manipulation. So if he decides it's going to be Vance, we'll see a whole different side of JD. But by and large, people don't like him. But we've got to always be vigilant, intrepid viewers, because everyone hates Elon, but he's getting to have sit-down meetings with all the titans of the world for his stupid third party. So can't write off. I'm not saying Elon going for president as such, but being a player in how this goes forward. Oh my God. Now, we need to have a look at the tariffs because where are we? It's the 21st here, 20th in the USA. So it's less than 2 weeks till the tariffs actually start. Now, 100 and something odd countries have actually turned their back. They are not ringing the White House. They know the White House is a crime scene. They know you cannot trust a word out of his mouth. The bigger problem for America, I think, going forward, or the United States, as I should say, is even if there's a change of guard, the rest of the world is very worried that this could come back at any point unless the system is really overhauled. This fake democracy that's been trundled out all these decades that isn't really representative and with very low turnout conventionally, etc., etc. Unless the system gets an overhaul, people are saying it's not a trustworthy ally, no. So he single-handedly dismantled the soft power, the hard power, every power, and it's absolutely unbelievable. But let's talk a minute about pharmaceuticals because, like everything, pharmaceuticals, like the raw ingredients come from one country and then they're put together in another country and then they're labeled in another country and then they're exported to other countries. It's like this, which is why the tariffs can only fail. Now, 200% on pharmaceuticals. Please start calling it the insulin tax or the Adderall tax or some sort of thing that penetrates people's minds, right? We've actually got an ADHD medication shortage in Australia, and I gather that's global. It's become a real problem. So, with the tariffs going forward, this also brings in Jerome Powell. Let's have another look. Will he break with convention? I've asked this recently, but we have to be onto it because the energy of these things changes. Will he oust Jerome Powell? It'd be spectacularly stupid, but that doesn't rule it out. Okay, let's have a look. Jerome. Mm. Well, I think he might go for it. Look at this. I think he's going to try. Loss and regret, not his, the rest of the world. Making a decision in a very confused way. Well, that's not a revelation, is it? And having to come to some sort of compromise. So I think he's probably ranting around the White House going, get rid of him, get rid of him. And other people are saying, please don't do this. Please don't do this. This would actually mean the bond market would crash, etc. So I think people are just stopping him, but that's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. Oh my God. And the only person who he's speaking to apparently at the moment is Levashenko, or what's his name in Belarus? Lukashenko, known dictator, imprisons and tortures his political enemies, and the trumpet is liaising very closely. It's his own. And now he's saying if Putin doesn't stop in 50 days, 100% tariffs on Russia. And Putin would be going, what tariffs? We're already under embargo, right? Like, there's nothing to tariff. Stupid. So it's all very, very bizarre. Okay, of course, we've got to offer our condolences to Stephen Colbert, bit of American popular history. You know, he's been there, what, 20 odd years and stuff. But I'm not that worried in the sense of it's May 2026 and a lot of things will be happening between now and then. Plus, I think he's so popular, he'll either be picked up by another network who by that stage will decide they don't want to kiss the ring and they will pick him up, or he would have a massively successful podcast anyway. But it's symbolic. Okay, so let's have a look here. I want to have a look for you guys. Oh, I want to talk quickly about the Dems, which I tend to want to do in bite-sized pieces, right? Each video, let's talk a little bit more about it. So, okay, now, Mamdani in New York, who's going so well, had a sit-down meeting with Hakeem Jeffries, who refused to endorse him. Right. They can't cope with the radical left. They actually can't cope. So despite being called the radical left, they've got nothing to lose, the Dems, by going radical left. But anyway, lots of people aren't comfortable with it, you know. They're happy in the middle. However, I think it's really, really time. I think Schumer should step aside and let someone else in. Hakeem Jeffries might start improving, but I'm not that confident. Now, we've been having an ongoing debate on this channel about Gavin Newsom. A year ago, I would have, oh, look, don't, you know, like any state governor tends to not have the ear of other states. He's been very high profile. Not everyone likes Gavin Newsom. But here's the thing. These are extraordinary times. And just like Trudeau, who'd become much less popular, he started off popular, got less popular, etc., was literally on his way out. But when all this stuff about the 51st state started, he was able to go to Europe and everywhere else in the world, and he was magnificent. And he created the space for Carney to come in behind with all these amazing trade deals that Canada has now um, put into place, right, in a very short period of time. And I think Newsom has that quality. No, he's not perfect. No, he hasn't addressed homelessness, um, which is a very difficult problem. I'm not letting him off the hook. I am not saying Newsom's perfect, but I am saying my feel is he has the gravitas to be able to slap down not only just the Yeti, but any other imbecilic, tragic GOP figure. He has the answer just like that. Now, let me take this a bit further. In the comments, because we've been having this conversation for some weeks, there's the nice guys like Adam Schiff and Jamie Raskin and so forth. These are very smart men. I think they're brilliant in Congress or the Senate. But they personally don't have enough gravitas to swing 100 million people their way. They just don't. It's something that you can't buy it and you can't bottle it, right? Now, some of you have criticised Gavin Newsom for going on Charlie Kirk's program. I'm actually a fan of all the Dems going into these right-wing spheres. I think that's where the conversations need to happen. They need to go on Fox and go on Joe Rogan and go there. Like Pete Buttigieg is brilliant on Fox, because he just talks to the Christians in a very Christian way and wipes the floor with their sorry asses, but he's really compassionate and, as he does it, etc. As I've endlessly said, there's such talent in the second tier. But I do think Gavin Newsom reminds me of one of our best remembered prime ministers from the 90s, Paul Keating. And the thing about Paul Keating for the Conservatives was they were scared to go up against Paul Keating in a debate or even putting out a stupid policy, and he would smack it down before lunch in a way that was really memorable, ferocious, and career-ending for other people. He could just do that thing. So I have fond memories of Paul Keating. So sometimes I think you have to think, I don't agree with everything, but I agree with this much. But let me know, because I'm not voting, you guys are. So let me know what you think about the pros and cons of Gavin Newsom. Now, let me just pull some cards for you guys. Let me just pull some cards for you guys. Going forward. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Yes, well, that's how you're feeling. I don't doubt that. Oh, that's just so beautiful. Oh, I'm going to stop on the sun. Oh, look, surprisingly, this Ten of Swords is a misunderstood card. And if you're a regular viewer, you'll know I'm not just making this up to make you feel better now. No. When I designed this deck, I had the artist put in the Phoenix. Right. The Ten of Swords, first of all, it's a 10. So tarot goes aces, then 2 to 10. 10 is the end of a cycle. It's like whoever it is can't do any more to actually pierce you. I mean, it's not to say they can't do dreadful policies, but you know what I mean in terms of how you feel inside. No more. No more. You are the Phoenix, the divine feminine in practice. And as you all know, this includes all kind, compassionate, sensible men. This is about respect for women, but it's also the deep feminine aspect. Unless we use compassion, employ compassion, and a society is not worth living in. And don't you feel Alligator Alcatraz is a bridge too far? So, for all those who are buying the merch and jumping up and down, I think many Americans are put off by that. Compassion, bring back compassion and shine your light. Oh, it's that old saying, be the change you want to see. Bring your light. So, my darlings, let me know in the comments, please, what's going through your mind and what you think about the Dems themselves as a party going forward. Okay, take care, and I'll see you before you know it. Ciao.